Amazing day to you, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So excited to be here right now.
Oh, all right. So excited you are there.
All right. I am very excited about playing music. I'm
Yes.
a musician.
Yes.
And I'm very excited by the idea of creating kind of like a gateway or portals to higher consciousness
All right. Well,
through music.
what's stopping you?
Nothing necessarily.
Oh, all right. So what you're saying is you are doing that.
Yes.
Yes.
And I want to do it more.
Well, what's stopping you?
Doing it more, I guess.
You mean not doing it more is stopping you? Doing it more wouldn't stop you from doing it more, obviously.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you're saying you're not doing it as much as you would prefer to?
Yes.
Because what's stopping you?
Nothing's stopping me, actually. I'm doing it. I just want to do it. I'm wondering, my question is, if you have something that would help me do it more powerfully.
Yes. Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yes.
Do you believe you can do it more powerfully?
Yes.
Then what do I need to say?
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, maybe in your interstellar travels you'd encountered.
Are you telling me that you've come to us knowing everything you need to do, but you've decided to ask us in case you're missing something?
I don't know everything that I need to do.
You don't?
I know the big chunk.
Isn't that enough?
I guess. I mean, it's enough. I'm still curious, though. I want to know what you think.
Oh, you're under the impression that you're missing something.
Maybe.
What about the idea that you're missing nothing? Is it possible for you to actually believe that? Maybe what you're missing is the ability to believe that you're not missing anything. How's that?
Touche. I like it.
We know that many people on your planet worry a lot that they're missing something, and in fact, the only thing they're missing is that they're worrying that they're missing something. So stop missing that.
Okay.
Pay attention to the fact that all you're doing is worrying you're missing something when in fact you may not be.
Okay.
How about this? Since you know, we assume, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, that you know that excitement is a complete kit and leaves nothing relevant out, right?
Right.
So that if in fact you just move forward in your life and there was actually something you needed that you were missing, wouldn't it actually tell you what that was?
Yes.
Then that means you're missing nothing if you know that.
No.
Because even if you're missing something, it will tell you what you're missing, and then that means you're not missing anything.
Okay.
Because you will have it when you need it. Even if you don't have it now, maybe you don't need it now. But when you become the person more and more that you prefer to be, you will have everything you need, everything that's relevant for you, exactly, precisely, perfectly, when you need it. What more do you need than getting something exactly when you need it? Why would you need it before you need it? Why would you get it after you need it? If you understand how the mechanism works, you will know that you will get everything you need exactly when you need it. And therefore, in a sense, even though you may not have it now, you will have it when you need it, which means you have everything you need.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Was that music to your ears?
Yes, and maybe I need some more information regarding something slightly related.
Like what?
Wondering if you've said that if you imagine something, it's real
Somewhere, somehow.
Okay.
In its own context, in its own terms. That doesn't mean it's real in your physical reality experience.
Right. So I've imagined either it could be a parallel Earth
Yes.
or some other planet where
Yes.
music is essentially like the central ideas that the society is based around.
Well, there's actually several civilizations we're aware of that function in that way. Yes.
And I was wondering if you could give us some stories or explain something.
Certainly. There is a civilization we're aware of where, well, I'm going to describe the beings. It's going to probably sound a little bit odd to you, but don't take it quite too literally because we're just creating an analogy that you can understand. Yes? Mm-hmm. All right. So imagine, if you will, a kind of a drum. Yes?
Yes.
Now imagine that the drum has 8 legs and it can move around. And when it needs to communicate, it goes thump, 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 thumpity thump, 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 thump. But these thumps resonate with an amazing amount of resonance, harmonics, different chords. You understand? Mm-hmm. And all of the beings communicate this way, and the idea of resonance is a fundamental part of who and what they are. Everything is expressed that way in this amazing symphony of these kinds of instruments they have within their body biologically that allow for the creation of all sorts of amazing complex patterns and harmonics to happen in percussive ways. It's an amazing civilization to visit. And it's amazing just to stand on their world and be immersed in the vibrations of all that resonance. It does things to you.
So music is just everything, everywhere there. That's
all they understand are variations of resonance, variations of tone. Both what you would call on larger scales and on more subtle scales. And like us, in a sense, what might seem a simple note to you, to us actually sounds like multiple harmonics. To them, it's 10 times that, 20 times that. They can hear things in the simplest note that you would only think is a single note, that to them might be an entire symphony. It's really quite immersive. The thing is that when you stand among them, they actually have the ability to impart a little bit of that to you because they are somewhat telepathic. Therefore, their vibrations go, in a sense, right through you and entrain you a little bit to go along with those vibrations. And after a while, you actually begin to understand their language. But understanding their language is not just language in the way that you use it. It's music in the same way that listening to a symphony might transport you in your imagination to various realities and various experiences. It's more like that rather than some of the simple concepts that words might attempt to convey. It's much more of a holistic, full-bodied experience to listen to their language, to be immersed in their language. They're actually, in a sense, telling stories as they talk. It's just built into what they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Did you visit that place as Bashar, or did you have other incarnations? Or?
Yes, I visited it as myself.
Uh-huh.
I do have, or have had, in your terms, an incarnation there because the idea is they were one of my first contact experiences.
Huh.
And in all of our first contact experiences, we always choose out of an incarnational experience in the society, so we will have something to draw upon so that we understand the society more deeply. Otherwise, we'd be too alien to each other. So having an incarnational experience in their society gave me some understanding of the basics of their society, but I've also been there as myself, yes.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. One more question.
Yes.
Do you have the ability to scan me?
I'm always scanning.
Okay. Can you tell me how many negative beliefs I have?
Talk about opening yourself up. 5,487 and a half. Now, do you believe me?
That's less than I thought I had, so thank you.
Then I guess you must be doing pretty good.
I guess I'm doing pretty good, yeah.
Do you believe me?
No.
Thank you. Then that's one less negative belief.
All right. Thank you very much, Bashar.
Thank you.
What's up, my friend?
Andrew, you good day.
I have been experiencing a large amount of kriyas, involuntary body movements.
Yes.
From my understanding, Kundalini Sati. Like I'm
Yes. Well, as you
just
expand your consciousness, you raise your frequency, you make yourself a better antenna for higher frequency energies, in a sense, to pass through. You become a conduit for that. But it's even more important, the more sensitive you become to higher frequency energies and become a better conduit for those higher energies, the more important it is to actually express those energies in physical terms through different actions that are representative of your passion, so that it gets grounded into your physical reality, so that it just passes through you and doesn't necessarily stay within you and cause all sorts of bodily movements that you don't necessarily need.
Okay, thank you. Would you suggest putting these guys? Anything to do? Like anything to do other than follow my excitement with this shit that's flowing through me?
So you're asking me if there's anything outside the instruction manual we've already given you, and told you there was nothing outside the instruction manual.
Okay, cool.
Does that help?
Yeah.
All right.
Part of it is, as I understand, Kundalini Sati, dissolving my ego, returning to oneness.
Well, no, you can't return to oneness and have any experience. And it's not dissolving the ego, it's allowing the ego to become transparent enough to simply do the job it was designed to do and not take on any other tasks that it's not designed to handle. The ego is simply designed to focus you to have an experience of physical reality. It's part of the idea of the manifestation space we described at the beginning of this transmission. It's the part that tells you, this is real, this is real, this is real, this is real. Have an experience, have an experience, have an experience, have an experience. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's all the ego is for. But when the ego is taught to believe that it has to control everything, handle everything, then it becomes the negative ego. Then it tries to take control. Then it tries to tell you what it thinks you need to do. That's not what the ego is designed to do. So it's not about dissolving the ego. It's about making it transparent and just letting it do the job it was designed to do, so you can have a physical experience in a clear and balanced way. That's all.
At times when these negative beliefs are, when my ego becomes more transparent, these things are leaving now, and it's very painful. On the floor in the fetal position, crying. Is there a way to process this pain?
Well, yes.
More efficiently?
Well, yes. Again, you can understand that pain is resistance to the natural self. So the more you don't resist the natural self, the faster it will go through you, the faster you will experience it that way, and the sooner you will not need to experience it that way.
Okay, thank you.
But again, do the things that you need to do. Take the actions in physical reality you need to take that are reflective of your passion, so that you are funneling the energy through you in a more accelerated way.
So having a flexible plan,
Yes.
my prior highest excitement before it was brought to my attention, this energy was in me, was pursuing shamanism. I'm slated to go back to Peru in September.
All right.
And I've heard it is dangerous to mix ayahuasca or other plant medicines with this active energy in my system.
It depends. Depends on your belief system. But again, you can also trust that if you are in that balanced state with yourself, and if you are acting on your passion, the organizing principle of synchronicity will show you, by creating opportunities or not creating opportunities, what it is you actually need and don't need to do at that moment. So in that sense, it will guide you, and it will make sure that you're not necessarily doing, if you pay attention to that intuition, it will make sure you're not doing what wouldn't necessarily be to your benefit at that moment. Yes?
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
That was a question?
All right, can I ask one? Get ask a question. Could you tell me about soul agreement? I was thinking before you talked about past lives not simultaneously or in a linear framework that I really fucked her over in a past life, and which is why she causes me so much pain now.
No. The idea is you're making connections from the present that are the connections you believe were necessary to make in order to draw upon information and experience that help you with the theme that you chose to explore in this life. So it's not from another life. You're making those connections to explore the theme you chose for this life. If you don't believe you necessarily need to make those connections anymore, you can change the connections. Please, all of you, remember, the idea of the so-called past lives, not only is it really just an illusion that it happens that way, but it's also not a static thing. Many people, when they talk about the idea of, oh, well, do I have this past life or that past life, they think that never changes. It's a dynamically changing thing as you change. So one moment you may have a connection to one other simultaneous incarnation, and 5 minutes later you may be such a different person that you don't need that connection anymore, and you're making connections to other people and other simultaneous incarnations. It's a dynamically changing thing.
Cool, thank you. Last question about rectifying, like you say, life is inherently meaningless.
Not in the negative way. We simply mean it's a blank slate. You give it meaning, and that's what determines the effect you get. You are offered the free will to make those choices and have the experiences you prefer.
It feels that higher forces are guiding me towards my life's purpose being spiritual evolution. So I was just wondering what trumps what.
There is a general current, if you want to call it that, a magnetic pull toward the positive side, because you could sort of say, just as an illustration, that existence is 51% positive and 49% negative, because the balance point in the center, the neutral point, still offers you the opportunity to choose what you prefer, whereas negativity attempts, in a sense, to disguise that option. So, in a sense, if you even just dropped into the flow, relaxed into the general current of existence, you would eventually gravitate, feel the pull toward the positive side.
Okay, thank you.
Yes?
When I dissolve into oneness, can we hang out?
You do not dissolve into oneness, ever. You are always a perspective, you're always a point of view. You exist, you always exist. And the idea that you're calling dissolving into oneness is simply suddenly experiencing yourself as all that is. You don't lose your perspective is all that's left. You become everything. You don't lose yourself in everything, you are everything. That's the difference, because you can never lose your perspective, because you can never not exist in some form.
Thank you, buddy.